share some of my experience with web scraping material. So we will start. So I will be discussing about what is web scraping, why scraping is needed, what are the steps involved in web scraping, and how we can analyze the web page, what we are going to pass. After that, I will discuss some of the library that are required, like request. I will go for Python Selenium, and then beautiful soup, and then I will show you a demo how I started with using a small code. I get the data from ESPN Cricket Info, and then we will go for Q&A. I would like to request you all that keep, as the time is limited, so Q&A session we will do at the end after the demo. So, how many of you are familiar with the word what is web scraping? And how many of you have done web scraping in your life? Whoever know they have done already. So, web scraping is a technique in which we get data from web page, and we get data from web page and we do some manipulation. We need data to do some kind of manipulation over the data. So web scraping is simply a technique in which we get data from HTML pages and store in our own database, sometime in a CSV or database. So this is all everybody knows. So why there is need of web scraping? First of all, to get the need of web scraping, one of the most important thing is getting the data. Data is important, and we need data in anyhow. Like if suppose I go through the website of ESPN, I wanted to know what are all the record of IPL. So I need data, but I find that Quick Info Stat ESPN doesn't give any API for that. Then I decided I need data, how to do it. So the very first requirement of web scraping comes because there is no API available and we need data. If you need web scraping because there is no rate limiting. You can extract data as much in the quantity you want. Like if you are using an API, so API will give in a once, like you can make 2000 requests in a day, 3000 requests in a day. But if you use web scraping intelligently, then you do not worry about the rate limiting. You can get data as much possible. You can access data anonymously without telling your own identity. Web scraping is used in data mining to get data from internet, and after that you analyze, and it can form a meaningful information, sometimes for your business and sometimes for your fun. Most of the people use web scraping for link checker. Suppose a site have a millions of links available in their site, so they may need, after deployment or at certain point, they want to know that what are all the broken links are there. So they can use web scraping to make a simultaneous hit on every link and to generate the response that how many forbidden is there, how many bad requests is there. So it can use in that way also. Content building has been one of the most important nowadays. People are scraping other websites, generating data by their own, and then representing data in a different form to give a different meaning to their own business. So content building is one very popular nowadays. People are doing this, and people do it for fun. Like I do for fun, to get data and to show my friend that this is the stat of politician in a country, and sometimes this is the IPL, how IPL is going this thing. So this is the need of web scraping, why we need it. So there are 4 simple steps involved in web scraping. Once you decided that you are going to get data from internet, you have to be skilled in these 4 steps. And these are really 4 very simple steps. Like first, you need to know about the web page. You need to know that how you are going to get information. Like this is the page I want to get information from. The very first thing. Where the HTML page is represented in a DOM. So you have to pick, first of all you need to pick the DOM, that this is the DOM I need to get information from. So this is the way you analyze that, yeah, I will go to this link and then I will go to this link. So in this way you make a structure of how you are going to get data from. The second way is grab the content. Once you analyze the page, you grab the content and then you will parse the content. I'll tell in more detail later, and then you store the result in CSV. So you see, this is the very first step in analyze the web page. I went to this link and I found that I need all the rows that is shown here, like Mumbai Indian, this KKR, everything. So I find that this is the thing I need. So I was using Google Chrome and I just inspect element, I go through the structure of HTML, I find that this table class equal to intent table. So I got to know that this is the table from which I am going to get data. Again, I just click on the T body, then I find that yeah, this is the position from where I need to get data. So in this way, I exactly find from what location I am going to get the desired data. So this is the very first step. You plan that how you are going to get data from whatever the site you plan to get. Then after you analyze this, yeah, you make on pen and pencil, you make a diagram that yeah, this is the how we are going to get data from this page. After that, you need some library to get extracted data from. So there are two library available in Python. One is URL requests. So there is two type of application through which you can get data from internet. One is URL link, one is console based application, and another is browser automation tool. So URL link and request are the two famous console based application you can say, and browser based automation you can say Selenium and Mechanism. But the difference between these two is in the previous one, console based application, you are going to fake a request by simply putting headers and this thing, but it will be visible to user. But if you are using browser automation tool, it will exactly act like a browser, simulating a browser in a window of the developer, and it can somehow you can say that you can write a code to program a human, like it will act like a human. If you say that go to this page, after visiting this page, scroll this page, so browser automation tool will be useful in that case. And so everybody I think have used request. So it's a simple Python library to make request, and if someone want to know more about this, you can install it, pip install request, and there is very good get start tutorial available on the second link I said. I will go a little how are the method using request. You can fake a request and you can create. You can fake a request. You can get data in an intelligent way. So see here. Suppose once you decided that yeah, I need to get data from this site, but you don't want to code as well. But the thing is, how if you are making a request, you are going to send your own proxy and you are going to send your own user agent. So there are the two links I shared. There is free proxy list and user agent. Free proxy list are it lists all the IPs available for you. Means these are the proxy server which is available to make request on your behalf. So you can pick any number of proxy and they will give you like what are the uptime of every server, which are the good server, which are the bad server, so you can use them. So if you are using proxy, you are not going to send the website your own identity. And there are so many user agent available. So using request, you are going to make a fake request with a different identity at every time. So whenever you do it like that, suppose you have 1,000 of proxy and 100 of headers. So every time when you make a request, you are going to fake it. So if they have used some tools that is going to understand your behavior, that if they have some tool like based on your request, they are going to call you that this is the bot who is making request, and after that they will value. So IP will be sent every time, and if you are not sending IP, so based on your user agent they can call. So this is the way you can do. You can make a combination of this thing, and every time you will send it at a different request. So this is the request, the console-based application I discussed, and second one is the Selenium. I have already talked more about this. This is the wave automation tool. Basically, it was built for testing purpose, but nowadays it's used for scrapping as well. And the good thing with Selenium is will act like a website. It will open a browser in the user window, and so I used Selenium one time. I needed data from Google. So what I see when I make a request, and after scrolling a little down, then I get data from, it load more images. In that case, Selenium will be useful. Like, it will open a browser, you can write some code to scroll the button down. After and till it load full, you can grab the content and then you can get it. So Python Selenium is the package available for to deal with Selenium, and there are tools available to install Selenium and Python Selenium, and very good get a start tool with this. The link here. So once you have analyzed the page, once you have content with you, now the thing is you need to parse the content. So the tool, there are library available to parse the content is beautiful. So HTML parser, XML. So these are the tools available to get content and to parse content from the page what you get from this previous system. Again, the more I will show you demo that how I have used Beautiful Soap in the later slide, and then you can see that how I got the data. So here is the link you can to install it, and there is a get a start tutorial as well. So once you have stored data, once you parse it, and then you can save it whatever the method you want to know. So I would like to show you a demo how I parsed it for. This is
can you increase the font size?
Font size. Everyone.
Is it okay at the end?
One more.
One more.
Yeah.
Huh.
So the very first step is wrap the content. So using request and making a combination of proxies and header, I am getting HTML string from the URL that is clickinfo. And yeah, so thanks. So using the URL, I am going to get content of the web page. That is the very first step. Grab the content, and once we have HTML string, we get the HTML string. Then we make a beautiful soap. So beautiful soap is a parser, a kind of parser. It's a kind of no. It's a parser which will parse the HTML string, and it will give you a soap object, and it provide a lot of method through which it give a method like you can search through the DOM what it passed, and you can navigate through the DOM structure. So beautiful soap it is. So here you can say I make a soap object, and then I am going to find the table name what I said in the analyze the page structure, and I found it that this is the content table. I got the header for this. I think to get a better picture of this, I'll show you. So this is the soap object. Hello. Yeah. So in the very first script here, I am trying to find the header. So I find it that this is the header. We need to get it from team 1, team 2 winner. These are the header, and after that I'm showing the first 5 example.
Can you open the URL alongside?
You want me to
Yeah, that should be better.
see?
Do an inspect, please.
Yeah.
Do an inspect.
So if you are using Fireball, Firefox, then Firebug is. If you are using Firefox, then Firebug is tool for this, and in Selenium you can get to here using inspect element. So I found that this is the this is the table I need. I'm going to get data from. So when I analyze the table, I find that this is the T8, which is going to give me header, and this is the body part who contain the data. So if you open the body, you can see this is the TR, and these are the TD, and which contain the data. So the same way I have done, like I got the table name, and after table name I find for the table, and then I make I generated the row and everything. It rendered. So I have my GitHub. I will share my GitHub link. I have the complete code for you. You can get and you can practice there, and you will get to know what are the method available for. So if you see my you can clone it and it has all the available for it. I'm done with demo. Any questions?
How did we get that screen that you opened it clicking for website, right?
Yeah.
After opening, you receive another one more screen at the bottom,
Yeah.
right? How do we get that screen?
Yeah, if you open the page and you need to right click on the page and there is one, you will get inspect element. Otherwise, if you are using Firefox, then there is a plugin available that is Firebug, which can do the same.
Nowadays, no need. By default,
Okay.
you can same thing inspect.
Yeah,
Firefox.
yeah, inspect it will come.
Mechanize is not there for Python 3, right?
Mechanize, I don't think so. Most of the time,
It's not ported, it's not maintained anymore. So
Okay.
we shouldn't be using Mechanize.
Oh, I haven't used Mechanize because I prefer using Selenium.
And Selenium, you can do proxies. Does it make sense for Selenium?
Yeah, in Selenium as well we can do proxy. But I have seen some companies, they have like 3,000 of server and they are switching the IP and then they are doing.
But why do we need proxy if I have direct internet access?
Yeah, there are some website who are very to hide your own identity. The good answer is to hide your own identity. Like there are some website who have who use some software and the software what is the it parse the HTML it parse the log file and it will see the they apply some machine learning and they see that this request can be a human request and this request can be a bot request. So at that very time you need to make a strategy that how you are going to fake it. Like you need to make a time difference between the request what you are sending and you need to make a little to fake it like little combination of different IP and the user agent. So these are the trick that will prevent you. Otherwise what will happen if you keep sending requests from the same IP, it will understand that yes, someone is going to grab my data and they will just hide and they will just ban you and you won't be able to do it again.
So if you use proxy, what happens? So it will
Yeah, if you use proxy, then your direct IP won't get.
Okay.
The other IP will get.
Something is legal and may not be illegal also. What is the difference with some of the sites I think you are not allowed to really scrape it.
Yeah.
I mean, what I'm trying to say is there is a legal and illegal piece also is there to this one. Before you go and scrape any of the websites, so you have to be cognizant about what sites you can really go on and scrape.
Yeah.
Or we cannot scrape it, right?
Yeah, so in that case, the page what you are scrapping for, you should go to the term and condition and then you see that does it very particular about its content or not. Because sometimes it happened that there is no hard and fast rule that this is the website you can't scrap, this is the website you can scrap. So one time some company has scrapped Facebook profile of Facebook data from, then Facebook sued on him that he just stolen my data. After that the company has to pay for it because the Facebook has maintained a copyright against it. So the good thing is that you can see the copyright and you can decide that you need to get it. You are legally or illegally doing the thing.
Can you explain a bit more on the time difference you were talking about? Like what I used to do a year back, like book Tatkal tickets on IRCTC using Selenium. So I booked a lot of tickets and then I was permanently banned from the sites. I was detected. So basically, how do you like that time difference thing which you were talking about? The requests were like.
Yeah, the time difference I talked about is using request model. So the difference between request and Selenium is Selenium will act like what you are doing. You were writing the code of Selenium and then going to the site and then booking the
Username password was involved. Since that's not an anonymous request, you can go through any proxy, but still you will have to log in using your username password.
yeah.
So obviously proxies won't help in that case. Only the time difference can help. So how to randomize that? Because it detects only on the
code. You
basis
can
of
write time.slip and you can make a.
You can have randomized delay in your code. So the thing is, so when request is coming from a bot, there would be a pattern on the time which
you need to randomize that pattern.
Yeah, and that is your random sleep. So you take you take an interval of, let's say,
I tried that, but still it got detected. So
so the thing is, you are trying to outsmart them, they're trying to
They are
outsmart
also
you.
keep on working and improving their things so that
Detection.
my random was only on integers. It was not in milliseconds.
It probably has to be in milliseconds, right? And a sleep in integers is very easy to
Very
detect.
easy to, yeah, that's what might have happened.
Yeah, but typically when you randomize, it should be close to user behavior. Suppose a page loads,
That's what
user will take
milliseconds.
10-15 seconds to understand what, because the IRCTC site is so badly designed. You will need at least a minute maybe to understand what is going on. So you have to wait that long, because they know that what is the average duration the next request comes. They have that input, which you don't have.
So probably in milliseconds randomization would do the trick.
So yeah, I mean, it's a intelligent randomization rather than just some randomizing something. So it absolutely makes sense. When I am IRCTC, I have data of millions of users who are actually thing, and I can actually form a clustered pattern of, hey, if they are on that information filling page, it typically takes them anywhere between 10 to 15 seconds for 95 percentile of my users to fill in that way. So that is one thing. So they have the power of data.
Proxies won't help anyway.
So proxies do help in different cases, not in different cases. Like
yes.
for
In data collection, it can help.
so so take for example, I'll tell you. So let's say for example, you want to you have a case wherein you have created 20 different login IDs. IRCTC, right? Now what you want to do is you want to try with all those 20 different login IDs, right? Now IRCTC may have an algorithm that if a request is coming from the same IP and different login IDs, I can probably log out you automatically. Yeah. So here the proxies would help. So you can have each of these requests directed through one different proxy, and bypass that particular check.
actually password when you are putting the appointment it happens. Same thing. When from the same, if you logged in, again they say that we will not allow you from the same PC. But different PC, if you go and log in, it allows you.
One point to add to that is it is not only for concealing identity, also it helps in caching. Like as you said, you could have cached your IP details and other things. So in order to route to the multiple servers, the background, say for example Google or Facebook, they'll have thousands of servers. So they would have created some proxy servers based on locality or some criteria. It always routes. If there is a request from such and such a client, always routes through the proxy servers to a particular web server. So this is another basic and fundamental advantages of building a proxy server than just the identity concealment. So that's how when they would have stored all the multiple requests of the clients and client details, right? So that caching is one of the functional requirement for a proxy server. So they can use that caching for manipulating or do whatever the necessary thing at the background. But caching is one of the important functionalities of the
Probably if I log in using my same username and password from his PC, it won't allow me. Caching is one thing just for the IP, but yeah.
Yeah, caching whatever the details. IP is one detail and user login are other details. But not only just for concealment, also to route to different servers, which is behind the scenes. All the servers can't be exposed directly to the client. So for the purpose of routing to individual servers, they would use certain caching algorithms in the proxy server.
So that what you just explained was why the service provider, the website provider is using a proxy.
Yeah, another,
right? So
another
like,
phase of a proxy server.
yeah,
Why they use it.
this is the user side of proxy. Why do we want to go through different routes rather than just from my own IP?
Yeah.
And on the user side, we are primarily going for the concealment.
Yeah, yeah. This is another context I'm just adding to that.
Absolutely.
Even CDN would come into, like, even CDN would play a part in that.
On the server side, which is what she explained.
It will also be about what the
By
content
the
that
way,
you're filling in.
you can use a plugin that is Monkey Choose. One app.
I use it. Yeah.
Sometimes it works.
Sometimes and now it doesn't.
Yeah.
Deprecates.
Any other question? Yeah.
So, scrapping is the basic thing that we do for data preparation. Right? Now, every time we end up writing the codes, and can we do something? Can we have an open source tool or we have? For example, someone who doesn't know about the Python or any programming languages, he just replicate the user experience on the website, and the code gets generated for them.
Yeah.
Automatically.
Yeah, there is a you want to know about the tool?
Yeah.
Yeah, there is some tool means if you using Selenium, a plugin is there, and there in using that, if you install that plugin, so you can write you can click on that. This is the point I want to go. After that, I will go to this point. I will go to this point, and then click on this, and it will write a Selenium code for you, and you can download it and you can run it. But in that way, you won't learn Python or scrapping.
That's Selenium IDE.
I didn't mention it.
Only for Firefox. It's available.
Yeah, so Selenium IDE is what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And there are multiple record and play tools which actually allow you to.
So we are.
No, you don't make
there is-
hiring announcements.
Yeah, seriousness.
You don't make it.
Okay. So download. I have done it for web scrap. My GitHub. You can clone it, and there is some script you have written. You can get the CSP. That would be helpful for you. Thanks, everyone.